Step into the silent chamber of the self, where every fleeting desire and every deep-seated urge holds the potential for either mastery or ruin. This is not a self-help cliché. This is the stark, inescapable reality of human existence. The endless cycle of seeking, grasping, and temporary satisfaction is nothing less than a subtle form of bondage. Most walk through life tethered by invisible change chains forged from habit, impulse, and the relentless quest for external gratification. But there exists a forgotten key, a potent, visceral practice capable of unlocking a higher state of being: semen retention. Before we go deeper into semen retention mastery, subscribe to this channel and join our Telegram community linked below. You'll get guidance, insights, and exclusive updates designed to accelerate your growth. Stay connected. Your discipline, focus, and transformation begin right here. This practice is often misunderstood, relegated to the realms of asceticism or mere sexual control. Its true power, however, is a profound, almost alchemical transformation of energy, a complete recalibration of the human system. It is, in its essence, the ultimate tool for dissolving the compulsive self, the one driven by automatic, unconscious reaction. Retention is the act of gathering the scattered vital force, the very energy that sustains creativity, fuels focused thought, and empowers unwavering willpower. The insidious nature of compulsive habits lies in their slow, invisible drainage of this vital energy. Every thoughtless indulgence, every surrender to a familiar, destructive pattern, is a transfer of power. You are, in that moment, consciously or unconsciously, giving away a portion of your most precious resource to an external, fleeting reward. These are not merely bad habits. They are fundamental misfires in the energy system, leaving the soul fragmented and the mind susceptible to the next urgent craving. Imagine your life force as a brilliant, flowing current. When that current is unchecked and unchanneled, it dissipates rapidly, creating an internal flood of restlessness and anxiety that demands immediate, but ultimately empty, distraction. Semen retention acts as the grand reservoir, the conscious construction of a powerful internal dam. It collects this potent life current, not for suppression, but for disciplined, focused redirection, converting what was once waste into a concentrated, disciplined power source. The moment this reservoir begins to fill, the internal landscape undergoes a fundamental shift. A sense of lightness, a heightened state of awareness, and an almost magnetic composure begins to take root. The previously demanding restlessness, the relentless urge to do or consume, is finally available for higher, sustained functions. The automatic reach for the device, the impulsive purchase, the comforting but destructive snack. These knee-jerk reactions lose their automaticity because the scattered energy that fueled them has been drawn inward, centralized, and consciously commanded. This conserved energy is only the first step. The true breakthrough lies in the awareness it cultivates. Compulsion thrives in the shadows of the unconscious mind. Habits are carried out in a fugue state, triggered by environmental cues, emotional vacuums, or mental anxiety. By committing to retention, you are forced into a state of heightened, inescapable presence. The subtle physical twinge, the familiar emotional undertow, the faint, persuading thought that pushes you toward indulgence all become visible. This sudden, illuminated awareness is the very cornerstone of freedom. The instant you recognize the pattern, you insert a critical space between the trigger and the response. The compulsive action is no longer an inevitability. It is an option, a choice, subject to your newly awakened will. The automatic chain of reaction is broken, and a new neural pathway of conscious, deliberate response is initiated. Furthermore, the grip of compulsion is deeply neurological, etched into the very wiring of the brain. Every time a habit is repeated, the neural path is reinforced, making the action smoother, faster, and more irresistible. This is why the fight against habits often feels like a war against the self. It is a war against the biological momentum the self it has unwittingly built. The deep secret of retention is its ability to directly influence neurochemistry. It amplifies the intrinsic reward system, subtly recalibrating your dopamine regulation. You begin to experience satisfaction not in the fleeting spike of immediate indulgence, but in the sustained hum of real accomplishment and internal stability. The frantic, urgent cravings that once dominated your inner dialogue diminished because the neurochemical need for external rescue has been fundamentally altered. You find a deep, enduring satisfaction simply in being, rather than in the exhausting cycle of endlessly doing. Consider the quiet catastrophes of modern life. The hours lost to mindless scrolling, the blurred fatigue from binge-watching, the self-sabotage of procrastination cloaked in frantic busyness. Each of these habits is a precise mechanism for siphoning energy, numbing the mind, and fragmenting the focus. Retention reverses this disastrous tide. The energy you now conserve is subtle initially, a quiet reservoir, but its compounding effect is astonishing. You find yourself waking with sharper clarity, making decisions with an unexpected precision, and executing necessary actions that previously felt like insurmountable effort. You reclaim time that you had unconsciously forfeited to the tyranny of distraction. Forging a life defined by presence rather than loss, the resulting psychological shift is profound, fostering what can only be described as an internal gravity, a deep, magnetic presence that anchors your mind and stabilizes your desires. Many compulsive behaviors are merely compensatory, arising from an inner void, a deep sense of lacking. As retention builds and centralizes your internal resources, that void shrinks. The need to desperately fill the emptiness with external distractions, substances, or actions simply vanishes. This explains the consistent reports from practitioners of both sexes: an unshakable composure, a calm, potent power, and a laser-like clarity of intention that permeates every domain of their existence. Crucially, this is not a doctrine of suppression. Suppression only creates internal pressure that will inevitably find release in secretive, often violent, indulgence. Retention is transformation. The raw, primal energy that once urgently demanded release is now deliberately and consciously sublimated. Sexual energy is transmuted into the universal currency of creative power. It fuels ambitious projects, deepens meaningful relationships, accelerates personal and spiritual growth, and even enhances physical performance. The momentary pleasures of compulsive habits pale into insignificance because a higher, more refined, and infinitely more satisfying source of internal reward has been activated. The practical benefits are immediate and undeniable. Focus sharpens, habits become malleable, and willpower is forged into an inner steel. You cease to be a puppet of your impulses and ascend to the role of the mind's master. The initial changes may be minor, fewer minutes lost to distraction, a deeper satisfaction after a task is completed, but these incremental shifts multiply exponentially over weeks and months, constituting a form of internal, existential training far more impactful than any temporary dietary change or fleeting burst of physical exercise. Retention specifically neutralizes the root triggers of compulsive behavior: anxiety, boredom, and external validation seeking. The energy previously seeking chaotic external release now circulates internally, soothing the nervous system, reducing baseline tension, and building a natural, visceral resilience against the external triggers of the world. This is a biochemical firewall against whim and impulse, a systematic recalibration of the nervous system. The social dimension is an overlooked reward. As the internal chaos subsides, your presence becomes stable, dependable, and influential. Relationships deepen because you are no longer fragmented by internal conflict. Professional performance soars because your attention is a concentrated beam, no longer siphoned off by endless distractions. Even biological health improves as stress hormones plummet, sleep quality deepens, and overall vitality is renewed. Retention is the keystone habit, triggering cascading improvements across the entire structure of your life. This blueprint, however, is a trial by fire. The urges will return, strong and insistent. The gravitational pull of old habits is immense, and moments of profound doubt and temptation to relapse are inevitable. This is not failure. It is the necessary tension of growth. The key is to confront these moments with conscious curiosity and disciplined awareness. Do not suppress the urge. Observe it. Trace its origin in the body, the emotion, the thought. Then, consciously and deliberately, redirect that energy into a purposeful action. Every resisted impulse is not a mere victory. It is the forging of a new, resilient neural pathway supporting freedom and power. Every conscious choice builds a mind no longer subject to the mercy of fleeting desire, but a mind that commands its own existence. To accelerate this transformation, integrate practical strategies alongside the internal work of retention. Identify the top 3 habits that hemorrhage your energy. Map their specific triggers, the time, the emotional state, the environment. Then, implement small, purposeful substitutions. Replace mindless scrolling with a short burst of creative writing. Substitute impulsive snacking with mindful, deliberate movement. The concentrated energy cultivated through retention now serves as the powerful fuel for these conscious alternatives, leading to a life liberated from the tyranny of automatic reaction. Patience must be your constant companion. The dismantling of deep-seated habits is nonlinear, and the full effect of retention is a marathon, not a sprint. Setbacks are inevitable, but the critical difference is that you now meet them with observation, not shame. You watch the urge, allow it to crest, and then return to your focus. Over months, This practice rewires not only your behaviors, but your very identity. You cease to be a person with compulsions and become a person who effortlessly commands energy, attention, and intentional action. Philosophically, every compulsive habit is a fundamental surrender, a surrender of self-stewardship, personal energy, and sovereign presence to external forces. Semen retention teaches the precise opposite, the mastery of self, the meticulous stewardship of one's inner resources, and a conscious, deliberate participation in life. It is not about ascetic denial. It is about reclaiming the power that is inherently yours to create the life you truly envision. The compulsions of the past recede, not because they are denied, but because they are rendered irrelevant by the vastly superior landscape of your transformed inner world. Through consistent retention, you initiate a profound internal alchemy. The raw, scattered impulse, the chaotic desire, the habitual craving gall are transformed into unwavering focus, crystalline discipline, and sustained, vibrant energy. You become a powerful presence, not a desperate reaction. You act with intention, not mere habit. The mind clears, the body vibrates, and your life becomes the conscious, deliberate reflection of an internal design, no longer an automatic response to external stimuli. Ultimately, this blueprint is about nothing less than the construction of a sovereign life, one built on dominion over impulse, absolute clarity in action, and boundless energy in existence. Compulsive habits fade away, not because they are forcefully eradicated, but because they are replaced by an undeniable force: energy, presence, awareness, and the conscious use of one's true power. Embrace the first step. Commit to this relentless awareness. Commit to retention. Commit to the conscious redirection of your power. The urges will arise, as they must, but you are now equipped to meet them with intelligence, presence, and unshakable control. The path is demanding, but the reward is nothing less than the profound rewriting of your destiny. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. You are not simply abstaining, you are building, forging, and transforming your very being. You are reclaiming your energy, your mind, your habits, and, finally, your life. The compulsions that were once your masters are now your obedient subjects. They follow the patterns you dictate. They no longer dominate. They serve. In this profound reversal of power, you find a freedom and a mastery that extends into every facet of your existence, reshaping your life into a luminous testament to conscious, deliberate